Welcome back everyone, and in this video I want to finish a horizontal view or a custom horizontal scroll view. Now I figured out some errors that I want to correct before we start the next video or we start our next coding. And one thing we want to do is, in the last video I had this add subview method in line now 38. I had it at the bottom, but you want it at the very beginning. Either it can be right after you declare the scroller, and you want to add the subview because the constraints that you add are going to look for the subview object to already be within a view. So because that way the constraints are looking for the super view, the view that the horizontal scroller is in. So it can set the constraints and then know the width and height of that super view, which the view is in, the horizontal view to be more exact. And then it can make the correct constraints. So do that there. And also, what we want to do is in our init methods, we want to call setUpScroll, which I did not do in the last video. And this is because this is your initialization method. You can put all the code in the required init, but obviously since you have to do it twice, it's better to make it into a method and then just call it twice there. That way, if you make any changes, you can just change setUpScroll. Good coding. At least a little bit of good coding. Okay, so now we've done most of the work for the horizontal scroll class. I think we've done all of it, hopefully. So now what we're going to do is we're going to implement the two delegate methods. Okay, and the first thing before we implement the two delegate methods, which I have right here in lines 28 and 35, we're going to make a horizontal scroll by creating a variable. We're going to call it hscroll, and we're going to declare a horizontal scroll. And in it, we're going to give it a frame. We're going to give it a size. And the size we're going to give it is cg_rect_make. And we're just going to give it coordinates to go on the view. So let's give it a x of 100, a y of 100, a width of 100, and a height of 100. So it'll be a perfect square a little bit down the page. Now remember, the 0, if you haven't done any graphics in CS and computer science, you have to remember that 0, 0, the 0, 0 coordinate is located at the top left corner, not the bottom left corner as it would be, I guess, if you're imagining a standard graph or in this exact middle. And so we have that hscroll. So now that we have that hscroll we've declared, we have to set the delegate to this own class. And note that I've also implemented horizontal scroll delegate in my class. So I'm making an agreement with this class that will implement the methods. And then also, the view that this view controller has, I'm going to add the subview to that view. So I'm going to add hscroll. And just for fun, let's make the hscroll's background color, which it inherits from the UI view. Let's make it a color. Let's make it a blue color. And so you can do UI color.blue color to get a standard blue color. You don't need to find the RGB values, red, blue, green. So now we just have one more thing to do. We have to implement our element at scroll view index method. So using the index for this view, which we're going to have 10 views, we need to return a view to show the user. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a var view, and it's going to be a UI view, and we're going to make it a cg_rect, and again we're going to make it a square of starting. We're going to make it a square starting at coordinates 0, 0 and having a width and height of 100, just like our horizontal scroll. So our view takes up the whole entire square. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to put a button inside this view. So var button, and I'm going to make it a UI button. And we're going to set this button's frame so the exact conditions or the exact rectangle of this button to be the same as the view. So this button is going to take up the whole entire view. Pretty cool. So now we're going to do some other things, like I'm going to set the title of the button to be hello, and then I'm going to make it print out the index. So I'm going to do that with the string. Let me slow down here. I'm going to do this with the slash parentheses and closing parenthesis, and what that allows you to do is put parameters inside a string. And then and then that state is going to be when the button is in a normal state. So UI control state.normal, that's an enum value. And let's set I'm going to set the button's background color to something different than blue. Sorry, UI color, and we're going to set the UI color to red. We'll make it the exact opposite. And then something you always have to remember to do is to do a view. You have to add the button to the subview. So I'm going to add the button, and then I'm going to return the view. So now every time our for loop is run in our horizontal scroll bar class, which we custom made, it's going to get that view returned from the method, place that view inside, and then have fun with it. And then it's going to horizontally put that in our scroll view and keep on increasing the horizontalness, or where it is, the coordinates, and then it's going to set it. So now I think we're done, so we can try running this. You can do Command R to quickly run it, but now I'm going to build this project. So let's see here. Okay, so we have a few things. So as you can see here, we have a blue background as surrounded by a blue top, and then between it we have some padding, which is again surrounded by blue, and then we have all these buttons saying hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4. Let me make the view a little bit bigger. So I believe this is height. So let me make that a little bit bigger, and then if this is width, we'll make that a little bit bigger too, so we can see things. Oops, looks like I got them confused. So 400, 120. So there we go. So now I have a width of 400, and now as you can see here, we have padding in between the views, which we can easily change in our horizontal scroll bar class. But by writing all of that horizontal scroll bar class, like you could to write a table view, we now can easily implement a horizontal scroll bar just like we would a table view by implementing two methods to get the number of elements and how we're going to define an element in the list. And then here you go. And so then we could define, just like in a table view, what happens when you click on this horizontal list. What happens when you click on a view? Well, what we have to do is look at the X and Y of where you clicked inside that view to determine which view you were clicking on, and then go into that view and determine the effects of how that view should be clicked. Like maybe nothing should happen, or maybe something should happen. For instance, if I click between here perfectly with my finger, nothing should happen. But if I click a button, maybe it should print out hello 1. So that's another implement you could implement, and all you'd have to do is define it in the protocol and then change it in horizontal scroll bar, and that method would be able to be implemented for all your horizontal scroll bars. Again, what's cool about that is now I can make a horizontal scroll bar across my app. And all I have to do if I wanted to make a change, if I wanted to increase the padding or make the padding customizable, is I just change my horizontal scroll bar class. So as you can see, it's pretty cool. Everything works pretty ordinary. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Please ask questions. This can be very complicated. Have a great day.